Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Flora Mini Pendant. This is the 183050. This is the upward-facing version of this. Let's get into the size of the fixture body itself, and that's going to be before we get into Hubbardton's rod system. It's going to be 25.7 inches high, 7.6 inches by 3.9 inches, because you've got some metal and then you have some glass on the side. Overall height, now we're talking about the distance from the bottom of the fixture to the ceiling itself, 28.2 to 61.2. If you need this shorter than the short, so you need it shorter than 28.2, or you need it longer than the long, longer than 61.2, drop me a quick email, say I'm looking for X, and give me a solid number beyond those things. So it could be 81 or 112, something like that. I'm going to take your email, I'm going to send it over to Hubbardton Forge. It's going to go through a couple of engineers and then come back to us. We do customs all the time. A little more time, a little more money, but we do customs every day. Not a big deal. Okay? Let's get into how this is going to be put together. Hubbardton Forge is using a system of these interconnecting rods where they basically have threading and they have these little connectors. It's all back and forth. Very seamless looking, which is nice. It almost just disappears. You're going to have two 12-inch rods, and these are the 12-inch. You're going to have one 6, and you're going to have one of the 3s. So you'll use them in different combinations to get to the height that you guys are looking for. A couple things about that. When you are putting these together, how I recommend doing it to assemble this, first let's look at the installations instructions, because hopefully it'll be on there, but if it's not, I'm going to talk about it anyway. Installations instructions are going to be on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont. So go to this page, 183050, look at that side of the screen. Midway down there's going to be a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. So open that up for me. It is going to show you a full parts list. It's going to show you, it's going to be coming with this tool I'll talk about in a sec. It's going to show you glass and socket and all that kind of stuff. It's also going to show you the inside of the canopy, which is really good. There's going to be some good line drawings there, so take advantage of these things when you see them, okay? Let's hop back into talk about assembly. So you're not going to put the glass on to the very end. What you're going to do is put a couple towels down on a counter, and you're going to lay these parts out in a line. So the fixture body is going to be down here, and that's going to have like the socket. Canopy is going to be at the other end, and you're going to put your pipes and connectors in between. You're going to thread the wires slowly through each of those pieces, through the pipe, through the connector, through the pipe, through the connector, and then finally through the canopy. Once you have those all threaded through, then you're going to assemble the whole thing. So it's an easy way to do it. Don't do it like trying to put it up at the same time. It just doesn't work. Okay? Let's hop back over to the canopy for a second. 5-inch round canopy going over your 4-inch J-box. This is very light, so there's no weight restriction of any kind. This is already slope ceiling adaptable to 45 degrees. There's a knuckle built into this right here to the top where they come together, allowing you to be using this on a cathedral ceiling on a slope. So don't be afraid to try to use it there if you don't want to, or if you do want to. Okay, it's also hot. Let's talk about glass, because that's going to be a big deal on this. You see you have two different options in that pull-down menu. You're going to be using one piece of an opaque piece of glass called Opal, which I'll get in more detail in later on in the video. Opal is a milky white when it's off, and then when it's on and you have a nice warm light coming through it, it's going to warm up to be a soft white. So it's a very pretty piece of glass. The other option is going to be clear seeded, and clear seeded is just what it sounds like. So it's clear and it has little tiny air bubbles all the way through it. So it is clear, but it's going to have this opal diffuser that's going to be sitting inside of it, just like that. So you're not going to be able to see the socket setup. So those are going to be your two glass options. Okay. Let's talk about socket and what you can use inside of this. So this is rated for 60 watt max for an incandescent, and that's because of the heat generated by a halogen bulb. You don't have to use a halogen at all if you don't want to, but you can. The other thing about it is it's going to be using a G9 socket. So a G9 socket is this smaller socket that accepts bulbs that have these little prongs on the bottom, G9s. Okay, very easy. Super easy to get, and I suspect that you guys are all going to want to use LEDs, which I think you should do. And great way to do it, go on Amazon and just put into the search G9 LED, and all these things are going to pop up, tons and tons and tons of them. Different looks, some of them are going to be phosphorus, and they have these long orange bars inside or lines, okay? Other ones are going to be Cobb LEDs, and Cobb LEDs look like corn cobs, okay? Very cool. They come in different wattage equivalents. This is a 40 watt equivalent. These are 60 watt equivalents. The big guy here is 75 watt equivalent. This is the one we use in our showroom all the time. I also always talk about two other things. One of them is make sure that you buy a dimmable bulb because it's a dimmable fixture, so you're good there. The other thing is look at the color of the light. That's going to be pretty important. So I tend to like a 3000 Kelvin light bulb. That's the light that's coming down on my hands. It's not too yellow, it's not too white, it's just right, basically. 2700 Kelvin, if you can still find it, is going to be like the setting sun. That's going to be super yellow, and it really kind of looks to me almost too yellow. So the other thing is, if you happen to be looking at these and you see something called daylight, just be careful. That's not like a setting warm sun. That is a hospital waiting room light. So that's going to be 4000, 5000 Kelvin. The one you really want to zero in on is going to be 3000 Kelvin, and you're good to go. So I want to touch on Hubbardton Forge's glass for just a second. Hubbardton Forge's Opal glass is not just another piece of white glass. This is actually hand-blown glass. All of their glass is hand-blown. And to begin with, it's actually a clear piece of glass to start with. And they come in, they blow a second layer on the inside of white glass. Then they come back and they do a third step where they sandblast the entire outside. So you'll notice when you get these in your hands, they actually have layers of glass on them on the end. You can see them on these two pieces. And it gives it this really soft, semi-transparent, kind of milky quality. It's a soft glowing piece. Really, really pretty. You know, they're really obsessed about details at Hubbardton Forge, and a lot of people don't. I don't think they appreciate it out in the world, but you appreciate it because that's why you guys are here watching this video. There you go. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you're on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, do me a favor, look over on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to see a lot of red tabs over there. One is going to be the Finishes Help Guide. When you're done with this video, go over there and open that up for me, and you're going to see a video at the top of that page of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a color chart just below the video, so scroll down a little bit, you'll see that chart. You'll notice there are pictures that have the letter A on them, pictures that have the letter B on them, and I'm going to be talking about that range you can see in variance on there in that video. So it's really important to watch the video, use that chart. When you're done with all that, come back down to that chart. You can click on any of those pictures and see a lot more samples of Hubbardton Forge fixtures in that finish. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in dark smoke, click on dark smoke. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in vintage platinum, do the same, and so on and so on and so on. That's a great way for you to see a lot of Hubbardton Forge stuff in different finishes and really take advantage of that, okay? So our showroom in Vermont has over 350 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's On display page on our website. It's going to be back in the red tabs over there. A lot of good things in that section. Check out. So when you open that up, you'll see it's all divided up into different sections like dining pendants and outdoor lighting. We're always adding to that. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. They don't even have a showroom like this. Nobody does. And they use this as their showroom when you guys come to Vermont to visit us. So lots and lots to see here. You can see all the different glass, all the different finishes, all the different fabrics, all of those things. In addition to that, we have a clearance center. So the clearance center stuff are returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. That's an amazing deal for you. If you guys want to take advantage of that, you have to come here to Vermont to see us. And when you do me a favor, measure all the kind of things about your project and what you guys are doing. So the most important thing is measure your ceiling heights to begin with. Measure distances between junction boxes and like windows and ceilings and those kind of things. So if you're looking at sconces on the wall, you can see if they're going to fit for you. If you're doing pendants over a kitchen island, measure the distances between those junction boxes. Widths of tables, kitchen tables, dining tables, lengths of tables, islands, all that good stuff. And also do a couple more things. If you guys have some tablets or iPads lying around, take pictures of all these things. Take pictures of the kitchen, take pictures of the projects you're doing. Bring that in so we can kind of go through those pictures together and we'll be able to see what you guys are up to, okay? And also the boxes and clearance stuff, for clearance stuff, are basically packed for shipping. Don't forget, these were supposedly shipped out. So the boxes tend to be on the bigger side, so bring a decent size SUV if you want to take stuff home. It's a really good opportunity for you. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. We're the only dealer that offers 90-day returns and no restocking fees. That's 3 months after you receive something to send it back, and there's no restocking fee on that. Some larger items and custom things, and it's usually going to be big things on pallets, are going to be non-returnable. It'll always tell you on the page for an item if that is the case, so always keep an eye out for that. And we also offer a rush program. So to get all these different metal finishes, Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock. They generally take about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it's really, really inexpensive. If you want to know more about that, just drop me a quick email and I can clue you in on details, okay? So our showroom in Vermont is open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to drop a quick email, you can do that all the time. And that's going to be at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. Or you can call me during business hours, 802-446-2400. So thank you for stopping in today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.